day, YouTube. My name is Wace, and
my name is Zero, and welcome to Untitled News.
I hope everyone is having a safe and healthy day. Today we will be talking about the 𝕀.𝕊 principle, Mr. Wingers, and we have prepared some questions for all of you, and we hope that you have safe games.
Wonderful. Good morning, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So we have some background questions and factual questions about the school,
and also some deep questions.
Yeah.
So I hope you're fine with that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So you can go.
Okay. Number one. What is your first and last name?
My first name is Brent. My last name is Wingers.
And how do you spell your first name and last name?
First name is 𝕀.𝕊.𝔾. Last name 𝕀.𝕊.𝔾. Wingers.
What does your student call you?
Most of the students call me Mr. Wingers. Now, some of the younger students sometimes shorten that a little bit to Mr. Wings, and that's fine as well. My wife's a grade 3 teacher here, and she goes by Mrs. Wingers and Mrs. Wings as well.
So, how old are you?
I am approaching 40.
Can you talk a bit more about yourself?
Sure. I'm in my 6th year here at ISG Jubail. This school represents my 4th international school. I've been in international education for almost 15 years now. I'm originally from the United States, from the state. International education for almost 15 years now. I'm originally from the United States, from the state of Wisconsin, where I grew up and I went to university there. And I have, in Saudi, I've got 2 young boys, age 4 and 5, that go to school here as well.
So now we move into the factual questions. So how did you become a principal?
How did I become a principal? That journey started, I would say, well over a decade ago. I began in the classroom. I was a classroom teacher for almost 10 years. My original background is social studies, so I taught history, psychology, geography, all sorts of things. And I became very interested in leadership and in kind of navigating the challenges that looking at an entire school or school system brings. And so I began by pursuing a graduate degree or an advanced degree in educational leadership. Once I had that, I had a number of roles ranging from a secondary liaison to a head of department role, and then to an assistant principal role, and now a principal role. So my journey is still very much ongoing, and I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Thank you. How long have you been a principal?
How long have I been a principal? I've been a principal now for I've been an assistant principal for about 4 years. This is my first year in this role as full school principal. And prior to ISG Jubail, I had a secondary liaison position that was very similar to an assistant principal position as well.
I just wanted to ask one question. It's not on the script. Have you been teaching in other schools before, or only in ISG?
No, great question. I certainly have. I've been teaching in other schools. In my 3 previous international schools. I taught social studies. I taught all the way from grade 6 to grade 12. Before that, in the United States, I did some teaching as well, and I actually taught 5th grade in a long-term assignment there. So I've taught in the classroom for almost 10 years in total, prior to moving into administration and leadership.
How do you feel about being a principal?
How do I feel about being a principal? That's a great question. I love being a principal. I feel challenged. I feel rewarded. I feel fortunate. I feel as though it is such a dynamic job because I get to work with such dynamic and diverse and different people. We're talking about students across every grade level in school. We're talking about staff from all grades as well, and even non-teaching staff. We're talking about families and parents as well that I get to interact with. So it's a job that has many moving parts, and it can be complicated and complex, but it can also be extremely rewarding and fulfilling as well.
So So, second last question for the factual questions.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite thing to do as a principal?
My favorite thing to do as a principal is probably interact with some of the students. Now this can be in the morning or afternoon as I wave good morning or wave goodbye to students. I also enjoy getting involved in student activities, so I often participate in staff versus student sporting activities like football or basketball. I go through, I supervise breaks, I supervise lunches, and I just get an opportunity to get to know the students and to speak with them and to share our experiences and learn more about them as well. Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Okay, what year did you start being a principal?
What year did I start being a principal? Well, at ISG 𝕀.𝕊, I became the assistant principal in the school year 2017-2018. And then I became the principal here K through 12 in the school year 2021-2022. Mm-hmm.
So now we'll be moving on to the last segment of questions, the deep questions and that.
Sure.
So, what do you do when you are in charge of the school?
What do? I do many things when I'm trying to and supporting the leadership and the direction of the school. So I work through scheduling, I work through class offerings, I work through all sorts of student and parent and staff issues or concerns. I help problem solve, I help generate ideas for us to move forward. As you know, our mission here is to inspire innovation and compassionate action. So I try to think about that in everything that I do in the school, and I try to connect my actions and my efforts with students, staff, and parents to innovation and compassion, because I really truly feel that mission is purposeful, and I feel very personally connected and drawn to that mission as well in everything that we do within the school.
Perfect.
Okay, what is your achievement as a principal?
What is an achievement as a principal? I'm going to think about the last probably 20 to 24 months here, and I think that our entire world has changed. As you know, as your parents know, and as I certainly know, I think running a school and operating and navigating a school and promoting and supporting student learning, all the while navigating a pandemic and dealing with the challenges that come with COVID-19, I think is an achievement that is still in process, but I'm very proud of where we have been and where we're going. I'm proud of the virtual school offering that we were able to support students with. I'm very, very excited and very happy that we're able to be together as a school now. And so I would say that a recent achievement is simply ongoing student learning amidst the global pandemic.
Okay, so I think that is all for today. So thank you so much for your time. It was very nice to meet you. I think it's amazing that we had this conversation and we learned a lot more about you, and I know that you really like to collaborate and with students, and not only with students, with teachers, staff, and a lot more.
Great. Well, I really thank you and appreciate the opportunity to be here. And again, it's, like I said, one of my favorite parts of the job. I get to interact and I get to work with students. So thank you again for making my day a bit better, a bit brighter, and the school as well.
Thank you. And that's Mr.
So, how do you feel about getting back to school, Saj?
So I'm feeling happy because we're going to school 5 times a week. And I also want to learn new things, like new subjects. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go.
So, how do you feel about getting back to school in person?
I feel very excited because we're back in school, and there's been a long time we weren't in school. We had just 2 days each week. And also we had like new exciting projects now in school, and that's why I'm excited to be back at school.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I don't know that much information about the situation in Ukraine and Russia, so let's watch a credible, reliable source video to tell us more.
Now we're going to talk about Russia and Ukraine, as you might know.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin signed agreements with Crimea's leaders. The historic agreements make Crimea a part of Russia. The signing was held in the Kremlin. The Kremlin is a historic fortress in Moscow. Shortly before the ceremony, Putin gave a heated speech. He blamed Ukraine's new leaders for the takeover. He called them names.
Nationalists and anti-Semitites. A Ukraine nationalist is a parrot. A Russophobe is an anti-Russian. An anti-Semite who hates Jews. In February, Ukraine President Viktor Yang fled Ukraine. He left after angry protests against the new government. Many people were killed. Last month, Russian soldiers marched into Crimea. They took control. 2 days ago, Crimea citizens voted for separate from Ukraine and joined Russia. Crimeans. Many Crimeans are post-resident, pro-Russian.
I hope this information helps you understand more about what is happening. Remember, when you are reading the news, please consider the perspectives and the credibility of the source where you got the information. This is from ISG News today. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, or write a message to us in school to our mailbox. See you guys next time.
Front wingers!